Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Gameplay Show with Saige Universe, featuring Hasted House in the building. Today we have a very special guest. This guy is a genius. Number one, I call everybody a genius on this show. But this guy, number one, he's a genius. He's very knowledgeable. He's a superstar. I love superstars, man. I really love superstars. This guy next to me has 6 companies, including renewable energy companies and business academies where he teaches other staff members from other companies as well, including his own, which is called Flash Components, how to handle life and business. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ron Shapiro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me here, Saige.
Yes, sir.
And just commenting on your name, it's an awesome name for those of you who are not sure what Saige is.
Yeah.
The way you spell it, it is a wise, revered, elderly man.
Definitely.
And it's definitely something to aspire. That's awesome.
Definitely. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, man. I see the same thing in you, if you will. So, tell me quickly, your company, Flash. Out of all the companies that you have right now, that's probably the one of many that I know of, right? That is a superstar company. When did you start this company? Why did you even start a company like Flash?
Okay, that's actually a very interesting story. We started Flash in 2002.
Right.
That stage, my late father-in-law, I just met my wife-to-be.
Right.
And we're very similar in our nature. He's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
He loves soccer, I love soccer.
Hey.
Although yesterday he would be, on the weekend he would be happy and I was shedding tears. Yeah, but usually it was the other way around for the last 20 years. That's
wow.
I was in a good place.
Yeah.
So anyhow, he had at the time a very big lighting company at the time,
right.
Which he just sold.
Wow.
And you should bring me in just to talk about him a full hour.
We should definitely do that.
I'll give you a quick. He was a buyer. He used to buy in China. Now, the first time he went to China is 1962.
Right.
I wasn't born. I mean, 1962 is the first time he's gone to China. He's a Swedish born.
Right.
And Sweden was one of 2 or 3 countries at that time that could go into that China.
Right.
And amazing stories, but he was a truly incredible buyer, and I have been very, very lucky that he mentored me for a good 20 years.
Nice.
So so that is part of our ability in Flash.
Yes.
Is his teaching of how to buy.
Yeah.
And this is good for South Africa. Why? Because we bring in a very, very good product at a very affordable price.
Yes, sir.
So we definitely, we like to say that our products are first of all lamps. You probably, many of you that are listening to me today, if you look at the lamp that you have in the room that you are listening to me now,
yeah.
you probably see it's a Flash lamp. You can find us in all major hardware stores.
Yes, sir.
And so we definitely care about South Africa in terms to bring a product that the consumer can afford.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives the longevity that you would expect for such a lamp.
Wow.
And that's what we're about.
Nice, nice. So now going into the lamp and the lighting business, right? You could have chosen any sort of solution for lighting, but you went strictly renewable energy and energy safe lighting. Was there any purpose behind starting that kind of lighting business?
Well, I would like to say yes, but not really. The truth of the matter is that technology was going that way.
Right.
Okay. At that time, the most common lamp that was coming in was the compact fluorescent lamp.
Yes, sir.
That's a kind of what you say, a neon light, if you will.
Yes.
And that lamp was getting strong traction in South Africa.
Yes.
Before it, we have the old incandescent lamp that was very non-energy efficient.
Yes, sir.
Worked on about, I would say that 80% of its energy was wasted through heat.
Yes.
And this is the new technology which was replaced maybe 10 years ago by LED.
Definitely.
And this is now the main technology across the planet.
Wow. That's incredible, actually. Like, for all those people who are definitely interested in the lighting industry and the business, like, that would be very great knowledge to give such a person, right? But quickly switching, right? Because I've been to Flash before, and I saw some very interesting. There's one specific thing that I saw that was interesting: the Business Academy.
Yeah. Okay. So the Business Academy. Let me go a bit back. I'm a student of Mr. Hubbard.
Right.
I've been studying his organizational material, organizational business teachings.
Right.
For the last maybe close to 50 years.
Wow.
And he's pretty much put together everything you need to know on how to run a business.
Wow.
Okay, so I've been, since 2012, I have introduced his technology into Flash.
Right.
And the bigger difference was in 2015, late 2015.
Yeah.
When I came back, I was a few years overseas, and when I came back from overseas, I introduced more of his technology into the company.
Yes, sir.
And within 5 years, in terms of staff, we close to 5x the amount. So we were at the time just under 40 staff.
Yeah.
Today we're 180 plus, and that is just using year on year his technology, and the company has grown very, very rapidly.
Yeah.
Applying it, but part of applying it, and I couldn't succeed if my staff
Yes,
weren't
sir.
getting trained on it.
Definitely.
So if I would be by myself understanding what I understand,
Right.
but there's no one else to execute the same technology,
Yes.
then life would be very frustrating for me.
Definitely, because no one knows exactly what you know in terms of the business as well, correct?
Well, now, I mean, through training, my staff actually, each one knows his sector of the organization. Now, we have to differentiate between understanding a product,
Right.
then understanding how to organize and the functions of an organization and how to make an organization work.
Yes.
So let's take an example. You have a plumber, you have a landscaper, you have an electrician.
Right.
They are very good at what they do and they want to start a company.
Whoa.
But what happens is they understand how to deliver the product.
Yes.
They don't understand how to run a company. And probably the area they most suffer with is getting clients. That's probably the area they suffer. Now, Mr. Hubbard has run everything that you need to know on how to run a company, has codified, has written it up, and then now it's available in courses in our academy and in other similar academies that deliver this technology.
Definitely.
So what I've done with my staff, so about over 4 years ago, I've decided to open an academy for our staff only.
Yes.
And our staff were training, and the changes are within no time, within one course. So all Mr. Hubbard's technology is you read it, you do it.
Right.
If you read it and you can't do it, you didn't understand.
You didn't understand it.
So we send you back to redo it.
Whoa.
Okay? But the first thing we teach you is how to study.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. You're going to school,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
If you're a student, what would be your job?
It's
What would be your job as a student?
as a student, is to study.
Right, your job is to study.
Yeah.
And what would be the product of your study?
It's understanding.
Well, understanding will result in the ability to execute your product. What would be the product? It would be the ability or the application of whatever you study.
Right.
So if you studied to be a plumber,
Right.
plumbing is the product of you studying to be a plumber.
Definitely.
Now, if you studied through school and you can't apply
Yes.
what you studied, then your schooling has not brought the product of what it has to do. So the first thing we teach is how to study. Okay, so the first course that you learn in our academy is how to study. Why? Because no one has taught us how to study.
Definitely.
And there are very, very distinctive barriers to study.
Definitely. And they're very easy to spot, actually.
And it's very easy to spot. So when you go into a classroom and you see the kid splattered on the table with his head down, cannot pick it up, the teacher thinks, oh, he didn't sleep at night.
Yes.
No, he was up till late. Sorry, no, this is just a phenomenon of one of the barriers to study.
Right.
Okay? Have you ever read a book and you come to the end of the page and you found that the page was totally blank? You don't remember what you read? Guess what? That's another barrier to study.
Definitely.
So imagine you're going through school and 30% of what you read is blank.
Wow.
Wow. How do you apply what you study?
Exactly.
Or worse, let's say you're in university and you're studying to be a doctor. That's frightening. Or a pilot.
Exactly.
Or an engineer. Or an ESCOM engineer. It's frightening, huh?
That is very frightening. That is frightening.
So in our academy, we teach you first how to study.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
And then we teach you how to handle life. Because if my staff member comes to work, but his mind is stuck at home because he has whatever kind of problems at home.
Yes.
Then we will first handle his home problems through study.
Yeah.
Then he knows why it happens. When he knows why it happens, he can start to solve it.
Wow.
Okay? When he starts to solve it, he feels elevated. Why? Because before he was an effect of what's happening. Now he becomes the cause of his own life.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Definitely.
So we teach him how to handle his ups and downs in life.
Right.
We teach him how to handle his ethics.
Right.
You know, he is coming with the viewpoint that, you don't have to work 8 hours. As long as you bring your body, it's okay. Okay? Sorry, I'm not paying for your body. I'm paying for the product that your body will bring about.
Exactly.
Does it make sense?
Makes sense.
Now, if he doesn't understand that if he doesn't deliver a product, I can't sell, and then I don't get money to pay him. By the way, that's problem number one in South Africa. Okay? The people don't realize that in order to get a salary, we need to sell something or deliver something or service something with value so people are happy to pay us.
Exactly.
And then that money can go to the worker.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Definitely.
I'll make it easier.
Yeah.
Okay? How does money come into existence? Okay? How do we make money?
Through confidence.
Well, confidence will be an ingredient that you will need, but how do you make money? What's the mechanical action of making money?
The mechanical action is to sell. Or bring about the service that you have.
Okay, so you get in there. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's take a bakery.
Right.
Okay? The owner of the bakery or the baker has 10 rands to buy ingredients.
Right.
Okay? He buys ingredients, then something occurs, and then he has 20 rands.
Right.
What occurred?
He sold.
Right, but before he sold it, what occurred?
He actually made it.
He made something.
He made it.
A product.
Yeah.
You have raw material, okay? By using work,
right,
you took the value of 10 rands and sold it for 20. But you have to work to make money. Unfortunately, if we have a workforce of 40% that are not working, that is 40% of the potential money in this country is not materializing. Not only that, it's worse because we have to pay for the 40 to survive.
Right.
And it brings about crime and it brings about other issues. So you can imagine that our potential of money in South Africa is probably triple what we're doing now. Easy. Just by getting people to work. Not even going crazy about it, really getting efficient, really putting the correct organizations, just by getting the workforce to work.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's unfortunately not yet how this country works.
Yeah.
The good news is, I am sure, potentially, this is the best country in the world.
Wow.
The raw material that we have in human beings,
the
amount of people and the amount of good people we have, and what we can make with it. This is the country to be. We just need to manage this country better.
Definitely. And that is the wise words from Yoron Shapiro, a genius, a superstar. I have to say that he's a superstar.
If you keep on going, I'll have to start paying you.
He's a superstar, man. I'd love to get paid. He is a superstar. Yeah. From Flash Academy, the amount of knowledge that this guy has, not only about business, but also about finances, life in general as well, right? But after the break, we will come back and I'll definitely be asking you about that workforce. Because there is a question that's stuck in my head about just the workforce. And it is a barrier in this country that I am actually seeing. And I want us to overcome this barrier. But we will get that after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Saige Universe, and this is definitely the Game Players Show. He comes from Flash Components. A very huge company, very huge actually. I was having a chat with some of the people who have worked there before, who are still working there before, and for some reason we went through digits. And I was mind-boggled by like the amount of effort that goes through it, just making digits and how much digits is being made at the place. So I'm very impressed with that company. It is a mega business, if you will. But before we went on the ad break, you said something very interesting about the workforce of South Africa, and I'm quite sure that is what's happening all over the world as well, right? So people just think, right, that getting their bodies to work and just have the boss see that they are at work is the thing that will just get them paid, but they don't realize just bringing value also to the company is and selling, making sure that you sell, right, is something that could not only make your life better, but also the company's life better as well. So how do we overcome that barrier of actually realizing, hey, work is something that's actually good for us, and it could make life better somehow, better for not only myself, but the boss, but the economy as well.
You're opening a whole series of lectures now. Okay, let's get to basics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you have an organization,
yeah,
you need to have a goal.
Right.
As part of the definition of organization is having a common goal.
Right.
The word is common.
Common.
Okay, so if we have a Mr. Joe opening a company and his goal of the company is to Mr. Joe to make money,
right,
where is the common? It's only his interest. That is not a good goal for a company. That's actually the worst goal that a company can have.
Right.
Because he is there to make money,
right,
and everybody else, as long as they're not afraid that they're going to get fired,
yes,
are there for passing the hours and going home,
yeah,
for whatever. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the first thing is the goal needs to be as encompassing as possible.
Right.
So let me give you an example. Well, let me give you a flash goal.
Yeah, right.
So let's look at some flash goals. So something of interest. So let's look. We have our fourth goal. It says like this: empowering community leaders, policemen, teachers, and persons who help shape South Africa to the end result of a safe and prosperous country for all its people.
Right.
Now that's what Flash is doing daily.
Why?
Now, my question, is there anyone in South Africa that doesn't benefit out of it?
No.
Does this benefit me personally?
It is benefiting you personally, yes.
Okay, in one way.
It is benefiting you personally in a way that you actually know what kind of value you're bringing into the country and how many people you're actually helping achieve this goal.
Totally, so that's right. So it makes this country safer.
Right.
I enjoy it.
Right.
It makes people happier. I enjoy it.
Right.
It creates more economy. I enjoy
that. Yeah.
But together with me, another 60 million enjoy it.
Wow.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is an overall goal for the whole country that Flash is doing.
Definitely.
Now, when people understand that this is what we're doing,
right,
they would love to support us.
Right.
But the point is, it's a common goal. And it's very important that it's a survival goal.
Definitely.
You understand?
Yeah.
It has to promote better life.
Right.
Does it make sense?
It does make sense.
So that's an example. Another example is a company looking after its staff
Right.
and improving their lives by providing a safe environment
Right.
where staff can earn a fair living and advance through the company's training and teaching. So our training and teaching helps our staff have a better life at home,
Right.
a safer life at home.
Right.
When they come at work, they know they're going to have fun. We have staff that say, I prefer to be at work than at home. Where does that happen?
No.
It's more fun to be at work than at home.
Speaking of which, sorry to cut you off on that. Actually, there's a friend of mine. He's actually probably my best friend. We were having a walk back home, right? And so funny how we both saw this at the same time. And people are knocking off. This is peak hour, right? And we saw this one guy rushing off, getting out of where he's working in a pace, like he is striding. Like, and you can see this guy cannot wait until he gets home, right? He does not want to be at work. Like, now, how does that happen? How does, like, people at Flash, they would rather spend their time at work, and then you also see there's people from other companies, they would rather be at home, but then when they're at home, they want to be at work.
Okay. So, you see, it's very important to allow people, and we're going already in the technology of managing people.
Right.
Okay, and it is a technology. To manage people is a technology. When I say technology, there is proper procedures, proper actions, proper results if you do it correct.
Right.
Okay, does it make sense?
It makes sense. A way of doing something.
The way of doing something, right?
Yeah.
So there's a technology of how to manage people. Now, if you want effective good workers,
Yeah.
you need to allow them to be effective good workers. For example, if there's a problem, let him come up with the solution.
Right.
Okay? Don't run these people like robots.
Right.
Let them make their area their own area.
Right.
So in other words, if I have a guy who is, let's say, managing the warehouse,
Right.
let him come up within the guidelines of warehousing and the guidelines of the company, let him come up with his idea of how the staff should be and how the staff should take the breaks and whatever.
Yeah.
As long as he's creating it, it's his.
Right.
Okay? So the point is now it's his job.
Yeah.
And he's enjoying it.
Right.
So he's creating it. And he keeps on creating it and he keeps on improving it. So then he's not in a rush. Because let's say if you are creating on a game, okay?
Right.
So let's say that you are now playing some game on the computer, right? And you are looking on how you can improve and how can I go to the next level.
Right.
This is very similar. So he is playing his game, which is his job.
Yes.
And he's looking, how can I improve my job? How can I make the job more important? How can I make the job more fun?
Yeah.
How can I get my staff to do better?
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
And with that kind of helping the staff to run a better area for themselves, it becomes theirs.
Wow.
Does it make sense?
That makes absolute sense.
Yeah, but now we have gone into the deeper end of it.
Exactly.
Where once you have a goal,
Yeah.
then you can start as a company
Yeah.
to push that goal.
Definitely.
And when people realizing they're doing something bigger
Yes.
than just, I don't know, having a salary, then they change the attitude. Let me remind you that some years back, people had nothing and still with nothing created a country. Okay?
Yeah.
So it means the goal is so powerful that it can mobilize the millions,
Right.
the billions, with very little.
Man.
Does it make sense?
That makes a lot of
The
sense.
goal has to be a survival goal.
Yes, sir.
The goal needs to be encompassing everyone.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
It makes sense.
And to the same degree, we can change this country.
Definitely.
Because if we would take a portion of the money that was spent on Corona, and we would spend it on marketing the Rainbow Nation,
Right.
wow,
we would have been in a very better position right now.
I mean, I don't know, you're a bit young. I don't know if you remember when the Rainbow Nation was used as a marketing tool to get all the South Africans together.
I was probably still very young, or
Right.
not even
But
born.
I used to get the shivers
Wow.
when they used that, and I used to get very, very proud of being part of this Rainbow Nation.
Yes, sir.
And this is just a goal worthwhile pursuing.
Definitely.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And we can very easily bring this country back to greatness when, like in the deepest time.
Yes, sir.
Does it make sense?
It does make sense, yes.
Yeah. Everything will come into proportion, and then you can start. So let's say you have all these things happening at the same time.
Right.
So the first thing you know, okay, let me go to daddy and fix daddy up.
Right.
So you go to father, oh, sorry you're upset with me, can we please fix this?
Yeah.
Okay, and father says, oh, no problem, you know, I love you, and etc. So you sort out that
You
thing.
sort that thing.
You sort out that thing, and then you say, okay, what's next? Okay, I have this bill pressing. Okay, let me handle this bill first.
Exactly.
Okay, by the way, that's how you would handle also finance when you have a lot of bills.
Right.
Okay, you handle the latest to the newest bill, whole technology.
Yeah.
One thing guys need to come is to come to our masterclass. I give a masterclass every second Thursday.
Right.
Tonight we have one at 6:30 in Capricorn Business Park. With the FBA/Business Academy.
Yes.
And this is for business people, staff, workers, whoever wants to just enrich his life. Today's topic is marketing, so it will be the whole subject of marketing. So that's I got in that.
Yeah.
So that's some confusion. I hope it's clear.
No, it is very clear. It is very clear. Like, because I faced this. I've faced it a lot of times in my life, up until I did Problems of Work. Right? I read Problems of Work the first time before learning how to learn. Big mistake. I'm not doing that mistake again. Right? And then I did learning how to learn, did Problems of Work. And now, just 2 days ago, I had a lot of random stuff happening. Right? And I was like, hold on, because this is gonna make me crash right now. Right? That I'm gonna ignore something, and then someone is not gonna be happy with me in this area. So let me just do this, finish that, do that, finish that, do that, finish it, handle everything one by one. And like now when I look, I'm happy, everyone is happy, right? Because I've handled all of these things without trying to catch all of them at the same time.
Awesome.
Right? And so like, just for the normal person out there, like, could you say trying to get everything all at the same time is probably one of the reasons why people crash?
Well, no, it's very simple. Imagine that you are playing cricket,
Right.
okay? And you're the batter,
Right.
and you have 10 balls coming into you at the same time.
Right.
Could you handle it?
No.
Okay, so now imagine he's batting at one after the other,
Right.
like normal cricket. Can you handle it?
I could handle that one.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's the same thing that what happens with confusion.
Yes.
Okay, so you're trying to handle everything at the same time, it's overwhelming.
It is over.
And that's why you go into confusion.
Yeah.
So you have to choose one, handle that, and you said it perfectly. You got it totally right, and I can see you in the problems of work. So I just want to say,
Yes, sir.
I want to say a few comments. So
Yes, sir.
first of all, guys, for those of you listening out there, you each have one amazing asset.
Yeah.
You have one amazing asset. The most important asset you have is yourself.
Wow.
Okay? You are the one who is going to make it good for you, or you're going to make it bad for you. And you could say, but this happened to me, and that one happened to me, and so on, and so on, and so on. So some people, terrible things happen to them, and they still come on top. And some use the terrible things as a reason why not to come on top. Don't do that. You're your biggest asset. Now, I study all the time.
Yes, sir.
I've studied from, as a student first, let's talk about my school days.
Yes, sir.
As a school day, I think I can compete with you who was worst, you or me. I was naughty beyond words. I mean, there was a time that the vice principal was teaching maths, he was a replacement to our maths teacher, and I jumped through the window while he was looking in the book. And we were on the first floor. So that's really a phenomenon of the first barrier.
You take number one spot for that one.
That's totally. And I used to hide my case outside so the teacher can throw me out and I can go home.
Wow.
High school, I used to end at 10 o'clock. I used to come at 8, 10 o'clock, I was back in bed. So this was my school, and I say thank God every day, and sorry for all the educators that will be cross with me now. but the issue is when the schooling is authoritative,
right,
and not willing, it doesn't work. The first time I started to study was when I came across a study course of Mr. Hubbard.
Yes, sir.
And I've been studied since. Okay, and I can't stop studying.
Yes, sir.
Because, I mean, Mr. Hubbard, from my point of view, he's given me pretty much. Let me ask you, when you were born,
yes, sir,
did your mother give you the rules of life?
No.
Was she given the rules of life of how to educate you?
No.
No. So, in my opinion, Mr. Hubbard gave me the rules of life.
Right.
But I haven't studied all of them. I'm busy studying them still.
Right.
And the more I study them, the more I control life. Because if you don't know the rules of the game, and we are talking about games.
We're talking about the game right now.
If you don't know the rules of the game, how are you going to win in the game?
Definitely.
And if you don't know the rules of the game, then you put things down to luck or divinity.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
I get your point.
So, the point is very simple. To all of you people who are decided they can't handle another day in study because of past experience, it doesn't have to be like that. You have to go back to study, and you have to study what you want.
Yeah.
And you have to study it with the correct technology of study.
Right.
And if you do that, you will be investing in your best assets, which is yourself.
Wow.
Okay? And we are open for that.
Definitely.
We are available at our Flash Business Academy, and we help people find their potential,
right,
and become much, much better people.
Definitely, man. And I'm really appreciative of that, right? Education is a key to success, number one, right? And without it, I don't know if we could have any roadmap through life. It doesn't matter if it's I want to be a journalist or whatever, right? I need to have the roadmap to be a very effective journalist, number one. And I need to know all the steps into journalism, or even like sound engineering, right? Otherwise, I'm not an effective sound engineer.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate Mr. Hubbard as well, right? For all that he has put in my hands to be able to learn these kind of things. And I appreciate you coming in here and spreading the knowledge, because like now people's eyes are open. If your eyes were not open before the show, your eyes are open right now. Right?
Okay.
And I appreciate that a lot, man. Johan Shapiro, sadly, I have come to the end of the show. Right? I really wish and hope that you would be available next time so you can come here again, like, and we just go deep and we dive deep and we wreck the ship of knowledge with the next time we have you come in as well.
My pleasure.
Definitely. And with that being said, we have come to the end of the Game Player Show with Saige Universe. This is my special guest, the number one.
Let me just say quickly, thank you very much to you,
yes, sir,
to all the listeners. And if you want more knowledge, please get hold of us at Flash Business Academy.
Yes, sir.
Yovine Hanneman takes care of that. Just get hold of us.
Yes, sir.
And we are here to help. We are here to make a better South Africa.
Definitely.
We want the best country in the world, and we definitely can do it.
Definitely.
All we have to do is start.
All we have to do is start, man. And you can find the Flash Business Academy on Facebook.
Yovine?
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram,
LinkedIn.
You can find them as well. YouTube, you can also find the Flash Business Academy if you are interested in learning about just business and how to handle life as well, man.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johan Shapiro.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being around here, man. This is the Game Player Show, and from my side, Saige Universe, I'm signing out.